What's your business worth? Well, that depends. Hey everyone, this is Michael McGregor, and I'm an M&A investment banker with Focus Investment Banking. And I'm also part of the team that helps automotive folks, whether it's tire dealers, auto parts and accessories companies, tire wholesalers, and commercial tire dealers with mergers and acquisitions. But I'm also a columnist for Modern Tire Dealer. In the May issue of Modern Tire Dealer, I wrote a column called Value is in the Eye of the Beholder. And the gist of it is that the private capital markets where your business is substantially different than the public markets. For example, if you own Monroe stock, you could just instantaneously call your broker and say, hey, I want to sell the stock. Well, if you own Lou's Tire World, you can't exactly do that. It not only takes longer to sell Lou's Tire World, but depending on what you want to do with Lou's Tire World, well, that might determine the value of the business. So the point of the column is that there's not any single value for your business, but there could be multiple values depending on what you want to do. Say, for example, you decided to do an employee stock ownership plan. Well, the value of that ESOP is dependent upon how the company is performing, and it's also depending on the market value as defined by the Internal Revenue Service. So there's something called fair market value. There's a formula for that. And a lot of what you can take home out of an ESOP or get done depends on how much you can leverage that company, the financial performance, and on and on. So that's one. Another example, if you wanted to sell to managers of your business and like a management buyout, well, a lot of the value in that particular case depends on how much the managers can scrape together in terms of a purchase price. So you may have a value in your head, also called owner value, but if your managers want to buy it and you want to sell it to them and all they can afford is do a certain amount, well then the value of your business will be determined on what you can agree to do together there. When you open up your business to a broader pool of buyers, then you start to get into the realm of market value. And in market value, you might be, if you're large enough, you might be attractive to a private equity group or strategic buyers. Private equity groups are considered financial buyers when they don't actually have an existing investment. And they may be your high bidder, but they may be your low bidder too, because they may take a look at your business and determine that based on how it's doing, they may need to add expenses in there, like a CFO. They may need to improve your financial systems and so on. So what you consider the profitability of the business to be, they may view it as somewhat different. A lot depends on if financial buyers have an existing platform or not. If they do have an existing platform, then you should consider them more like a strategic buyer. And strategic buyers oftentimes can offer the higher price for higher value for your business because they may have all that back office infrastructure that your business has as well, and they may be able to view that business as something more additive than needing the whole package, if you will. For example, when I used to run tire stores, I basically ran it with an assistant district manager, an administrative assistant, and myself, but we did have a whole corporate infrastructure that was supporting us. Well, a lot of times if you're a 10 to 15 store chain, one of the things you might try doing is taking your profitability down to store level EBITDA, presenting it from that level, and then letting a strategic buyer see what they can add on to that. What other types of values there could be for your business? Well, there's something called collateral value. If you wanted to go to a bank to get a loan and they're not interested in making a loan based on the cash flow of the business, they may simply look at the collateral value of your business there too. So I guess my point is that there's not any one single value for your business. There's multiple values. So much of it depends on what you want to do. Now, a lot of what I learned about business value came from this book here called Private Capital Markets by Rob Slee. I highly recommend it. It'll tell you a lot about the the transfer of private businesses, how you capitalize those businesses, and also how those businesses are worth. So that's the monthly column in May. Value is in the eye of the beholder. I hope that you find the column helpful. If you have any questions, please call me at 704-621-7200, or you can email me at michael.mcgregor@focusbankers.com. Thanks for watching, and thanks for being a loyal Modern Tire Dealer reader.